Driver San Francisco is the most recent game in this long-running franchise. The game series started on the PlayStation 1 and it was one of the early successful open-world games along with Rockstar's Grand Theft Auto 1 and 2. The difference is Driver was a 3D kind of open-world game while GTA was a top-down view. GTA you could actually get your car and run around and wreak havoc, while Driver 1 didn't really allow you to do that, and Driver 2 did that.
Okay, I'm gonna try it again.
Try what?
You know, but
Believe me, I'm not sure myself, but here goes.
After this, we all know what happens. Driver 3, or Driver, you know, with the E, the 3 instead of the E, bombed and sucked so hard that it's a shell of what the series used to be. While GTA went on to do Grand Theft Auto 3 and revolutionized the open world genre, making Rockstar a ton of money, and Reflections got bought out and dug around a few times before landing in Ubisoft's hands. Driver, since the first game was developed by Ubisoft Reflections, they were known as Reflections Interactive, and before the pickup by Ubisoft had developed quite a few games. So the modern games they developed so far since the pickup of Ubisoft have been Emergency Heroes, Just Dance 3 and 4, along with the Stuntman.
Maybe try something with the pass.
When they were known as Reflections Interactive, they weren't too much better. They did the 1990s
to get the hang of this.
ports of Ballistic, the Amiga version of Shadow of the Beast, and Thunderstruck.
Keep it down, buddy.
Yeah,
just
I'm not gonna lie. Reflection Studios doesn't have that.
Hi, I'm the driver.
Had the best history to look up. Driver brought them respect. Yeah, on the same token, it made them a one-hit wonder. Anyway, moving on to the game itself, by starting with the worst part of the game, its story. I don't even know how to explain without getting an aneurysm. Plus, so stupid, it's so hard to be taken seriously.
Now that's more my style.
It's almost so bad it's good. It misses out on the title by making the whole mission structure worthless. It explains nothing about how in any way this is supposed to be taken in any form seriously, that you end up going, fuck it, let's just play the damn thing. Look up the plot yourself, I'm not kidding, it's that dumb. The graphics for 2011 game look good. The cinematics are incredible. It's pretty much like watching a made-for-TV movie. Everything as far as the character models look true to real life.
Way too much.
The game is set in San Francisco, and it feels like you are in it. There's almost a total of 300
Go right ahead.
kilometers plus of terrain to explore, and it does feel big at times, but at times claustrophobic. This is more due to how much traffic there is than the size or perspective of the game's world. The cars look decent. There's 150 plus cars in the game, and while there's a lot of variety and cool cars, they don't look too much better than, for say, a Forza Motorsport or a Need for Speed. The audio is decent at best. The voice acting is pretty good, but it's hampered by how crappy the script writing is. Everybody who showed up put on a good performance, and nobody was terribly bad. The music is not bad at all. I'm more of a rock and metal kind of guy, but the music is good enough that I'm not skipping through all of it or turning it off. It has a very Starsky and Hutch kind of vibe to it, which it would work well with the game if it wasn't trying to be like Miami Vice. It only makes me want to pull the script more out of the guy's hands and go, not happening, rewrite it. I've never seen a plot kill a game for me like this before or since it. The gameplay is okay. Driver ditched all the on-foot stuff, having you possess any car in the game you want. This feels half-assed and puts the game in more of the lines of a game like a Need for Speed if you wanted, or the old Midtown Madness games. I know these open world games can be a long development process and take a lot of money. Like, take a look at Pandemic. Pandemic put themselves out of business on these kinds of games. My problem is that if you put yourself in league with those games like Midtown Madness or a Need for Speed kind of game, you gotta do something to make it either better or unique, and it does neither. The controls are serviceable. Controlling the car takes a little bit to get used to, but it's manageable. my problem is that either I have really bad luck, or this game can get brutal. You are given just enough time to finish missions, and if you screw up more than once, you're screwed. You might as well do it again. Plus, the game has this way of throwing a card just at the right time to do so, which will lead to a lot of spin-outs, a lot of frustration, and a lot of times you going, this game must cheat. I don't know if it's my bad luck or something, but I have had it happen to me so many times that's stupid. There's tons of side quests and things to do in the game, such as races. There are speed theaters where you gotta get to a certain speed and hold it for X amount of time. There's police car chases, which, you know, the only thing it really seems to do uniquely is that, you know, you can possess one car, be in the same mission, possess another one, and you can use that car to help you, you know, take down a bad guy or whatever. Or you could jump to another car after that car's been wrecked. The problem is that it unravels in such a way, well, the whole plot unravels in such a way that you can pretty much do all the missions and be done with it, making all the side stuff pretty well worthless. The only reason you'll even do any of the side quests is to either 1, get a better car, 2, get more money over time playing this thing just so you can unlock more features, or, you know, you're a completionist and you want to unlock everything. There's online and offline multiplayer along with many other cool features, but at the end of the day, I have to ask myself, is it as good as other games in this kind of genre? Like, I know Burnout Paradise is fairly old. Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, you know, is not exactly the same game. Most Wanted. Is it as good as Most Wanted? No. Is it as good as Burnout Paradise?
Oh,
no.
Come on. What's the deal here?
Would I play this over Gran Turismo? No. Like, there's fun to be had.
What the hell am I supposed
like, it has
to do
a
now?
decent gameplay engine, but it's buried under a useless storyline
Those voices.
that defeats the whole purpose of what you're doing in the game. I'm not gonna explain the entire plot, but, you know, it has the same kind of syndrome as Final Fantasy VIII, where it makes all the hours you dropped into this game feel virtually meaningless and useless.
I'm trying.
Overall, Driver San Francisco is an okay. That's the fundamentals of being a good game, but it's buried under so many stupid moments that I can't recommend it to anyone who isn't a fan of the Driver games or hasn't already played other games like Split Second. I would recommend Burnout Paradise, because you can get it cheaper, well, a little bit more expensive, but it's
partner, I'm pulling out all the
very much a lot better game.
Reel him in.
Land him, gut him, and fry him for supper.
There's just too many better driving games and open world games for me to really recommend it. Like, if you can pick it up for like $5 and you have a weekend burn, like, I would say, you know, go ahead, pick it up. But in general, it's just a flat 6. It's an okay game. You know, it won't give you really anything to remember except for how horribly written the plot is. But, you know, it's not so offensive that, you know, you go, this game is probably one of the worst driving games out on this generation. Because I can name quite a lot worse freaking driving games than this.
Back in the game.